Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. So before we get started, I just want to say that this webinar is being recorded, and we will send everyone an email later today with a link to the recording of the webinar and a copy of the presentation slides. You can view and download a copy of the slides right now if you wish in the handouts section of your control panel. First of all, I want to introduce ourselves. My name is Holly McHugh and I'm a marketing executive at BrightPay. And today I'm delighted to be joined by John Burke, who is a partner manager at Surf Accounts. So a massive welcome to you, John. It's great to have you on the webinar today. During today's webinar, we will discuss how BrightPay and Surf Accounts work together so that you can streamline the entire process from start to finish. Plus, we will look at the benefits of integrating both systems and what it ultimately means for your business. We will have a questions and answer section at the end of today's webinar, where we will answer any questions that you may have. So if you have any questions, you can type them into the questions box on your control panel at the side of the screen, and we will try to get through as many questions as possible. But before we get started with the webinar, I know we have quite a few BrightPay users who are watching today who are not using Surf Accounts, and we also have some Surf Account users who are not using BrightPay. So to start off today, we want to run through a quick introduction to both systems and how they can help your business. So I'll start off first with BrightPay. BrightPay is an award-winning payroll software that makes managing payroll quick and easy. The most recent award we received is Top Payroll Product of 2021 at the Accounting Web Software Excellence Awards. And this follows on from winning Payroll Software of the Year in the 3 years prior to this. At the moment, our products are used to process the payroll for over 330,000 businesses across Ireland and the UK. And we have been developing payroll software for over 30 years. BrightPay has a 99% customer satisfaction rate and a 5-star rating on Trustpilot and Capterra. BrightPay is a desktop-based payroll software and is available on Windows. All BrightPay licenses include 10 activations, and this means that payroll can be processed by up to 10 people or from 10 different locations. This is very handy if you have a number of employees working from home, all needing access to the payroll software. All BrightPay licenses include free phone and email support. We also have an optional cloud add-on called BrightPay Connect, which backs up the payroll data to the cloud, and both employers and employees have access to the payroll and HR information through a secure online self-service portal. And I will show you a demo of BrightPay Connect later on in the webinar. So here are just some of BrightPay's standout features. So first is BrightPay includes full functionality for PAYE modernization and is revenue compliant. You can retrieve revenue payroll notifications each pay period and update employees as required and send a payroll submission request. Next is direct payments, and this functionality was released just a few months ago, and essentially you can make payments to employees through BrightPay using our integration with payments platform Modular. BrightPay includes free phone and email support, and we also have hundreds of online step-by-step guides and video tutorials on our website. BrightPay has multi-user remote access, which alerts if another user is currently in the payroll, and a version check so that you're always using the latest version. And as I mentioned, each BrightPay license can be installed on up to 10 different PCs. With BrightPay Connect, there is an online employer dashboard, and employees have a self-service app where they can access payslips, request annual leave, view HR documents, and much more. We run demos of BrightPay and BrightPay Connect on a daily basis. So if you'd like to find out more about BrightPay, you can book onto one of the demos to see BrightPay in action. And the final feature is BrightPay's accounting software integrations. This is the topic of today's webinar, so we'll be talking about this feature in a lot more detail shortly. I'm now going to pass you over to John to give you an introduction to Surf Accounts and an overview of some of its features.
Thanks, Holly. So, Surf Accounts is a cloud-based accounting software and CRM system perfectly suited for small and medium-sized businesses and accountancy practices. Our easy-to-use online accounts package help business users take charge and produce their accounts where and whenever they choose. Access and update your accounts anytime, anywhere, and on any device. Online collaboration with your accountant becomes seamless and in real time. Business owners and their accountants can work in the system at the same time, making reconciliations, returns, and management accounts much easier and quicker to complete. So here are some of the Surf Accounts standout features. Surf is perfectly designed for the Irish VAT on a cash receipts or an invoice basis. All reports like RTDs, reverse charge, V's, Intrastat are all handled. Next, Surf is fully cloud-based and will allow you to take charge of your business from anywhere and on any device. Surf includes free telephone and email support and an interactive help section with hundreds of guides and videos. Invoice on the go through the Surf mobile app, create professional invoices, receive updates when they're opened, and get paid much quicker. Bank feeds are automatically import transactions from your bank or financial institution straight into Surf Accounts, taking away the need to enter bank transactions manually. Lastly, Surf Accounts APIs. Connect Surf Accounts to Dext, PayPal, and your business website via Magento to speed up your day-to-day accounting tasks. I'll hand you back up to Holly to discuss connecting your payroll and accounting software together.
That's brilliant. Thanks, John. So now that you know more about BrightPay and Surf Accounts, next we're going to look at how we have connected BrightPay and Surf Accounts and how both systems work together to make your life easier. And this is all thanks to APIs. But I suppose to start off with the basics, what does API integration actually mean? API stands for Application Programming Interface, and it allows two systems or applications to connect to each other so that they can exchange information and execute predefined processes. Put simply, an API works like a virtual middleman, relaying information from one system to another. You may never actually see an API working, and although we may not notice them, APIs really are everywhere you look, powering our lives from behind the scenes. So one example of API usage is the login option that you see on so many websites these days. Log in using Facebook, Twitter, and Google. Instead of this website actually logging into your social media account, which would pose a serious security concern, the API integration provides that website with identification information from your social account so that it knows who's logging in. APIs are incredibly convenient for the end user. They gather information so that it's all in one place, and they can share information with other devices, applications, and individuals so that you can save time. However, it's important to recognize that APIs are used behind the scenes for a whole lot more than the example could ever illustrate. This is especially true in business, where quickly sharing data is critical for carrying out everyday operations. So where does API integrations fit in with payroll? Over the past few years, API integrations have transformed the world of payroll into something much more powerful. In the past, payroll software and accounting systems stood side by side, but they never spoke or communicated directly with each other. This was a big problem for payroll processors because employee salary details needed to be entered into the payroll software, but the accounting software needed this information as well. This meant that payroll processors had to manually enter the payroll information into both systems. It's repetitive, it's prone to human error, and it's extremely time-consuming. Even today, depending on the payroll software that's used, this can still be a problem. Along with being a tedious and time-consuming process, double entry of payroll figures is notorious for producing errors which then need to be identified and rectified. Manually copying the figures from the payroll software into your general ledger leaves a lot of room for manual data entry errors, and you may also need to make new journal entries to fix mistakes. At BrightPay, we're continuously developing our payroll software so that we can solve everyday problems for payroll processors. Our new partnership with Surf Accounts is the perfect example of this ethos in action. Essentially, BrightPay's integration has made it possible for the instant flow of payroll information from the payroll software to Surf Accounts. Instead of having to manually enter the payroll journals into Surf Accounts, they can be sent directly from BrightPay to Surf Accounts at the click of a button, and it couldn't be any easier. So, how does the API work? Here within the main payroll screen, you will see a journal button along the top of the screen. Thanks to API integration, BrightPay can connect to a number of accounting packages, one of these being Surf Accounts. With each of these accounting packages, BrightPay can create the payroll journal file that's customized to the individual accounting software provider, which can then be sent directly to the account software. So I'm going to click into Surf Accounts. And the first thing we come to here is the date range. And this has defaulted to the month of January as that's the most recently finalized payroll, but you can change this date range to whatever you want. BrightPay will include all finalized pay periods across all pay frequencies within the specified date range. So with BrightPay, the payroll journal can include records for payslips across multiple pay frequencies. You can also decide if you wish to include individual journal records for each employee, or if you want to merge the employee records into total records for each unique payment date. BrightPay is now connecting to Surf Accounts, and once logged in, it will retrieve my nominal accounts. And here we are. Next is the nominal ledger mapping. So here you need to decide where you want things to get posted into your accounting software. And because I have used this API before, it has saved the nominal ledger mapping so that I don't need to do it every time. But the first time you're using API, you just need to select the account where you want things to get posted. So for example, I have the wages and salary appearing in account 301, wages and salaries. When we've completed this, we can go to the next screen. And here we can add variables. Here you can specify any circumstances where we want the figures to be posted to a different account. And I'm going to show you how to add a variation to the gross wages. Variations can be depending on period type, directorship, departments, specific rates, additions, and deductions. So here is the schedule or the pay frequency, and I'm going to leave this at any. And I'm going to set this to director. Next is department, and I'll leave it at any. And finally is the pay item. And this allows you to add a variation depending on the specific rates, additions, and deductions. And I'm going to leave it as any. Okay, so now that I have specified what variation I want to add, next I need to let BrightPay know where in the accounting software that I want the gross salary for directors to be posted. So under mapping, I'm going to scroll down, and here I'm going to say that I want the directors' gross wages to be posted in 302 directors' salaries, and save. I can also add further variations by simply clicking Add Variation and setting the rules to apply. Again, any variations are saved so that you don't need to redo this every pay period or every month. On the final screen, the journal is displayed for you to review. You can print this so that you can see a full breakdown or to save it for your own records. And once happy, simply click Send to Surf Accounts. BrightPay is now sending the payroll journal to Surf Accounts. And here we have confirmation that the journal was successfully sent. And finally click out. And it will ask if you want to save the changes so that you don't need to enter any mapping or variations every time you create a wage journal. And that's the process in BrightPay. So I'm going to pass you over to John now, who will show you what happens next in Surf Accounts.
Great, thanks, Holly. So after you log into Surf Accounts, which I'm going to go through on the demo shortly, but after you log into Surf Accounts, you will go to the general ledger on the left-hand side of the screen, and you will go to journals to view these payroll journals. So simply go to the nominal ledger, go to your journals, and the journal page will present it on screen like it has there now. Then to view the journal details, so just click in the required row and the journal will open up showing you the payroll values that have been posted from BrightPay. To view the payments, on the left-hand side, you can click Banking and Payments, and the Payments page will show payments posted. To view a payments detail, click and open the drop-down. Allow the arrow to view the payroll values. So that's basically how it looks in Surf Accounts, and I'll hand you back over to Holly.
Brilliant, thanks, John. So I'm going to go back into my PowerPoint again. And the key question you're probably all thinking is, what are the benefits of integrating your payroll and accounting software? So why are we doing all of this? Essentially, we have streamlined the entire process from start to finish so that you can spend less time and effort on keeping your payroll and accounting systems aligned, and instead free up time for you to spend on other tasks that really need your attention. Ultimately, it makes your job easier, your work accurate, and your entire role more efficient. The need to manually export and import CSV files, or even having to manually re-enter payroll data into more than one system, is instantly eliminated. And in its place, you will have time for more productive activities. Processing times will be much faster as you will be able to submit data in just a few clicks. As I mentioned previously, mistakes and human error are often associated with manual data entry. Fortunately, with the instant flow of payroll information from the payroll software to Surf Accounts, not only does it improve data accuracy, but it also eliminates the hours wasted locating and fixing mistakes. Integrating your payroll solution with your accounting software makes sense for many reasons, including efficiency, time saving, and improved workflows. But believe it or not, this accounting software integration is not the only example of API integration in BrightPay. In fact, integration has been included in BrightPay since its inception. Look at revenue, for example. BrightPay can connect to revenue system to retrieve the latest RPNs for employees to ensure the most up-to-date tax credits and cut-off points are being applied to their employees' pay. Once you have processed the payroll, BrightPay will create the payroll submission request, which you can submit directly to revenue from within BrightPay at the click of a button. Another new BrightPay integration is the ability to make payments from within BrightPay. BrightPay's integration with Modular will give users the ability to pay employees directly through BrightPay. It's a fast, secure, and easy way to pay employees, and it eliminates the need to create bank files and the manual workload associated with making payments. When you have finalized the payroll, you can choose the option to pay by Modular. Where you are in a payroll bureau situation where you process payroll for clients, the client or the person authorized on the modular account to make payments will be able to log into their modular account using secure mobile two-factor authentication and approve the payments. I suppose another even more basic example of integration is the way in which BrightPay is connected to BrightPay Connect. And although we have created and developed both products, integration is needed to connect both systems so that they can communicate with each other. Payslips, payroll reports, and revenue payments all flow from BrightPay to BrightPay Connect, while an employee's annual leave, updates their personal details, and client timesheet uploads flow from Connect to the payroll software. Similar to BrightPay's integration with Surf accounts, this allows you to save time by eliminating the need to create bank files and reduce the risk of errors that can occur from manual data entry. I'm going to jump back into BrightPay to give you a short demo of the software and highlight some of the other features that I've been talking about today. So here we are in BrightPay, and as you can see, these tiles or blue bars across the top of the screen. These are the different pay frequencies. So here we have a fortnightly and a monthly pay schedule, but you can also have a weekly and a 4-weekly payment schedule as well. Also, just to note that you can operate more than one payment frequency at any time within the same company. Also, at the top of the screen, you will see these 3 options within the workflow section. And essentially, these are the 3 steps to completing the payroll run. So first is update employees. And here BrightPay will automatically connect to revenue system and retrieve all available RPNs. It will then match current employee data with the information within the RPNs. If BrightPay detects that an existing employee's current revenue information entered within the software differs from that in their latest RPN, this will be brought to your attention, and you can update it to the most up-to-date information at the click of a button. Now that we know our employees' details are up to date, next we're ready to start entering the payroll. So if I click into an employee, the employee's payslip will now be displayed on screen. If the employee is paid a basic gross, you can enter it in the field provided. But you can also pay employees on a fortnightly pay rate, an hourly pay rate, a daily pay rate, and a piece of work pay rate. Further down the screen is additions and deductions. You can select preset additions from the list, or you can create your own addition or deduction types. Once you have completed an employee's payslip, you can return to the summary view by clicking here at the side of the screen. The next step is to finalize payslips. This will show the total number of payslips that will be finalized. The final payslip screen will indicate the amount being paid and the pay date. You can click on the pencil icon if you want to amend the pay date, or you can batch set the pay date by clicking here. So now we're going to click on OK. And now the payslips are finalized. The third step of the payroll process is to submit the PSR or the payroll submission to revenue. Employers are required to submit their payroll data to revenue every payroll run, and this must be done on or before the date the payment is made to employees. As you can see, BrightPay automatically creates the PSR for all finalized employees. If you wish to include all of these employees in the submission, just click Continue. This is a summary of your pending submission to revenue. You can also print, export, and email this summary. Once you click Send, you will receive confirmation that it has been sent, and BrightPay will keep a log of your submissions. Now that we have finalized the payroll run, the next step is to distribute payslips to employees. Payslips can be printed, emailed, or exported to PDF, or sent to BrightPay Connect, our add-on product that I will go into further shortly. Next is paying your employees. You can pay employees by cash, check, or credit transfer. Or our new option here is the option to pay by modular. Modular is a payments platform which allows you to pay employees directly from within the payroll software. It eliminates the need to create bank files and the manual workload associated with making payments to employees. You do need to have a modular account to use this option to pay your employees. So I'm going to click on continue. I've already signed in using my modular credentials, so as you can see, it's remembered them. But a match attempt will be made to your modular account using the employer registration number entered in your BrightPay employer file. So when ready, click continue. The employees whose payment method is set to credit transfer will now be displayed. Next, select the account you wish to make the payment from and enter the payment date. You can review the list of PAYEs for payment. The bank information here is taken from the employee's record by default, and this amount represents the employee's take-home pay on their payslip. So click continue then when you're ready to proceed. And a summary of the payment request will now be displayed for final review. And we're going to click send to modular. An Authy app notification will be sent to your mobile device to approve the payment request. And once approved, a confirmation will appear that your payment request was sent successfully to modular. So that's essentially everything I want to show you in the payroll tab. And next, I want to briefly mention some of the other tabs. This is the analysis section where you can create pre-programmed reports or create a new custom report that you can save. Next, I'm going to jump into revenue payments. And here you can keep a record of amounts owed to revenue and amounts paid to revenue. Now, the next thing I want to show you is BrightPay's cloud add-on product, BrightPay Connect. So I'm going to click on the green cloud on the top right-hand corner here. With BrightPay Connect, you can access a history of cloud backups that you can restore at any time. You can invite employees to a self-service portal, which they can access on an internet browser or from a smartphone and tablet app. And you can access an online dashboard for employers and accountants. So I'm going to jump into the employer portal now. So here we are in Holly's Hotel online employer dashboard. And the first thing we come to here is notifications. And as you can see, I have an annual leave request from an employee. Employees can request leave anywhere, anytime, directly from their employee app. And once a leave request has been approved, it will automatically synchronize to the payroll software, making it easier for the payroll processor. Just to note, if you're an accountant, you also have the option to receive payroll information from your clients through a secure portal and sync it to the payroll software. And you can also get your client's approval before you have finalized the payroll to make sure everything is correct. So for this webinar, I'm going to have a quick look in each tab. And first is employees. Here, the employer can click into each employee's profile to access payslips and personal details. And with Connect, there's no need to print or email payslips, as Connect distributes the payslips to employees automatically. Next is reports, and any report that is set up and saved on the payroll software will appear here. Next is the calendar tab. Connect also has a company-wide employee calendar with an overview of all employees' past and scheduled leave. So it's an easy way to keep track of who is on leave and when. Next is the revenue tab. And revenue payments also flow through to Connect. You can also click into each month to view the full breakdown. The next tab is documents. And here you can upload documents and resources and distribute them to employees through the secure online portal. And the final tab on the employer dashboard is the settings tab. This is where they can change employee notification preferences and enable and disable features for employees, including turning on and off the calendar feature and turning on email notifications. So I'm going to log out now, as I want to jump into the employee self-service portal and show you what the employees will be able to see. So I'm just going to pop in my login details. So as you can see, it's quite similar to the employer dashboard, but the employees have different tabs across the top. So on their dashboard, employees can view their notifications, such as their payslip for this month is now available and their annual leave request has been approved. Also on the dashboard, they can see their details and an overview of their calendar for this month. Next is the Documents tab. As you can see, it's categorized into payroll documents and HR documents and resources. And this is to separate their payslip library and their HR documents for easy access. And they can click into each payslip to view in full. So I'll just click into the latest payslip. And this is where the employee will have the option to download their payslip if needed. So just going back now to the Documents tab, and I'll just click into the HR documents and resources to show you where all of the other documents will be saved. And there is even a search tab here for quick access. Next is the Calendar tab, and this is where the employee can view all their past and scheduled leave. Employees can request and cancel annual leave, and they can view their leave taken and their leave remaining balance. In the next tab then, employees can edit their personal details. So for example, if they moved home address, they can easily update it themselves instead of contacting HR. So it's a great way to ensure that you're being GDPR compliant. And that's it. I'm going to jump back to my slides now and show you what the smartphone app looks like. The employee will automatically get notifications directly to their phone when a new payslip is available or when a HR document has been shared with them or when an annual leave request has been approved. And here in the app, you can see it's very similar to the portal where they have a dashboard on the home screen and they can view their documents, their calendar, and their details. As you can see, both the employer online portal and the employee app are very user-friendly. And I'm now going to pass you over to John, and he is going to run through a demo of Surf accounts. So just bear with me while I just pass over the screen.
Thanks, Holly. So we're now going to go run through a quick overview or demo of Surf accounts. And just to give you a quick flavor of some of the features that we mentioned earlier on in the webinar. So we're logged into the Surf portal. As you notice, I'm online, so it's fully cloud-based. And I'm logged into the demonstration company. So you can see on the left-hand side our menu screen. This consists of a dashboard. So this dashboard can be customized to your business requirements and needs. So you can have your key figures, your key charts and tables. And you can customize the main accounting reports in a nice visual on your dashboard screen. The next features then are your sales. So the sales option consists of your customers. In here you can raise quotes and orders, sales invoices and credit notes, and you can make those recurring, them invoices recurring. You do also have the purchase or the purchase side of the accounting, and in here is a direct mirror of the sales. So you have your suppliers, your payees, your purchase orders, your purchase invoices and credit notes, and on both options for sales and purchases, you do have the option to enter in opening supplier or opening customer balances. Your banking then your banking feature consists of your bank accounts. So you can have multiple bank accounts. You can post in payments and receipts. So these are manual features. You can manually do a bank reconciliation. And then you also have automatic API integrations here with live bank feeds, and also the DEXT import or the DEXT API for automation of your purchase invoices and receipts. Then you have your general ledger. So this consists of these statutory compliant reports, so the revenue compliant reports like VAT returns, VIAs and Intrastat. Then you also have additional features that are not standard to most accounting software. So stock control is a feature comes with all packages with Surf Accounts. We do also have a CRM that's built into the package that also has features that a business can run their communications, their customer relationship management, and this is a feature, again, it's available in Surf Accounts at no additional cost. The other options then are your reports. So these are financial reports, and then the option to add in additional software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just really quickly go in through some of the key features of raising a sales invoice. So I navigate to sales on the left-hand side and hit the drop down for invoices. In here, it will give me a quick overview across the top of my invoices and the total details of those. In the main body of the screen will give me all of my invoices that I've raised, and I can search through the search option here. You then also have your overview of your invoices here as well. And to create a new invoice, you simply use the options across the top. So hit new. In here, then you'll have the data entry screen. So you can select your customers from the list. From the customers, you can select your products. So these are depending on if you're using stock control or not. So you can maintain stock on products or services. You determine whether you want to maintain that. In here, you can select the lookup for your product. So I'll select the product from the list. And the only thing that you need to do here on raising an invoice is give the invoice product a quantity. Your preset price is in as set, and your preset VAT amount. If you do wish to give a discount on that invoice, you can enter a discount on screen here. Once you're happy with the invoice, you can hit save, and then you have a couple of options from here. So whether you want to print off the invoice and physically hand the invoice or send it out to your customer, you can email the invoice via the system with a payment information to get paid now directly on the invoice with all of your payment information. So the next feature that I will go to is my banking feature, and I mentioned this at the start of the webinar, was the live bank feeds, and it's something that it's available for all Irish and UK banks. When we set up our bank accounts, we have an option in here to connect to my feed. So connect to my bank. This will bring me to my online banking account. So I'll be able to select which bank that I am connecting to. So it will pre-fill, it'll give me some suggestions of banks that I've currently connected to. I can search right here of some of the available banks. And once I select the bank from the screen, it will bring me to a portal that I'll need to log into to connect my software. So it'll bring me to my third party. The information will be entered into the banking app. Once I'm happy with, or once I've connected that, what it will do is it will connect my bank to my accounting software, Surf Accounts. So once I'm happy, and this will live present the information from Surf, from the bank account into Surf Accounts. So I will click on my banking and my bank feeds, and I already have a feed ready and loaded up for me here. So in here I can see the transactions coming from the bank, And what I can do from here is I can allocate the payments or the receipts to the correct invoices or the correct accounts by highlighting the invoice, or sorry, highlighting the payment and selecting from the options down the end to make rules, to remember transactions, or to do allocations from the screen. Next, I'll go on to the general ledger reports. In here, as I said, you have your VAT returns, your VIs, your Intrastat. So your VAT returns are done at a click of a button. It's automatic within the system. So all VAT returns that are selected will be maintained in a screen for you. To create a new VAT return, you select New. That will do a sweep of the system and collect any outstanding VAT and present it in a VAT return report. Moving on then to the last feature that I'll go through is just our reports module. In here, you'll see all of the accounting available reports that are available in Surf Accounts. Things that I have favored at the top of the screen: my balance sheet, my profit and loss, and my formatted trial balance. You also have in your sales reports like aged customer balances, so who owes you money. In your purchase, you have aged supplier balances to find out who you owe money to. And then you also have your banking reports, so you can do reports on payments and receipts, so money you've received and money you've paid out. And then also you have your standard general ledger reports. So reports that are quite popular or in Surf Accounts are the return and trading details. And then you also have your the reports that I favored, like the trial balance, the profit and loss, the balance sheet, and then things like budgeting reports that can be entered into the system. So that's a quick overview of Surf Accounts. We do also have demonstrations and provide demonstrations on a daily basis. So if you are interested, please get in touch for a more detailed demonstration of our accounting software. So I'm going to hand you back over to Holly. So just give me 1 second.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, John. So that brings us to the end of today's webinar, and I know that we covered a lot on today's webinar, but as I mentioned, we will send each of you an email later today, and this will include a copy of the slides and a link to the recording of today's webinar. But it's now time for the questions and answers. And I see quite a few questions have come in already. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them into the questions box, and we will try to get through as many questions as possible. So I think I'll kick us off with the questions. I see one in here for BrightPay. So how do I test the BrightPay free trial? So you can trial BrightPay for 60 days for free, and you will have full functionality, and we don't ask for credit card details. So you can download our free trial from our website, so that's www.brightpay.ie, and the trial can be found under the first tab, payroll, and click 60-day free trial.
Perfect, Holly. I see there's another question coming in, and I think it's related to Surf Accounts. And it's actually both, funny enough. So I use BrightPay and Surf Accounts. Do I need to connect both ways? So great question. No, there's no requirement to connect both systems. You don't have to connect both BrightPay and Surf Accounts. The way Holly showed today, by connecting BrightPay to Surf Accounts, that is all that you need to do. There's nothing required from the Surf Accounts element. So yeah.
Brilliant. I have another question in here. So I have a bureau license with BrightPay, so have different accounting packages for different clients. Do I have to connect each one, or how does it work? So once you click into an employer from within your bureau open screen, you will see the journal option in the payroll tab. You have to link that specific employer with their accounting package. So in other words, there's no way to bulk connect the journals, but once you do it once the first time, it's set up then.
Great, Holly. I'll take the next. There's a couple coming in there now, but I'll take the next one. Let me just scroll up. Okay. I'm already using BrightPay. Sorry, I'm already using a different accounting system, but would be interested in switching to Surf accounts. Would it be easy? That's a great question. It is easy. The day and age of people moving from systems is, yes, it is easy. We do have a conversion team on hand, but in the industry that software is in now, anything that can be exported from your current accounting system to Excel or CSV can be imported into Surf accounts to help over with the switch over. So great question.
Brilliant, thanks, John. I have a question come in here just about modular. So is there a cost associated with modular? So yes, there is. Modular is separate, but what I can do is I can include the pricing for modular in the follow-up email later today for that question. I also have another question just on pricing, so I'll go through that now because I do have a couple of slides on it. So the question is BrightPay Connect an extra cost to BrightPay? I have 50 employees. So yes, BrightPay Connect is an optional add-on product to BrightPay. I'm just going to flick over to our pricing page here. So with regards to pricing, we have a standard license, which is for single employers processing their payroll in-house. And prices for this license range from $159 to $319 per tax year. We also have a bureau version, which is for payroll bureaus and accountants who process payroll for a number of clients. And the bureau license starts at $339 for up to 10 clients or up to $659 per tax year. And that cost there is for the unlimited employers and unlimited employees. So prices are per tax year, excluding VAT, and each of these licenses can be installed on up to 10 PCs. That's for the payroll software itself. However, if you wish to use BrightPay Connect, this is an add-on, so there is an additional cost. So BrightPay Connect is priced on a monthly subscription based on usage in that month. So you only pay for what you use. Customers are invoiced monthly in arrears based on the number of employees that you have in your payroll within that month. So to answer the original question, if you have 50 employees on your payroll for a particular month, you would be paying just €15.70 for that month. And you can see that there on the last row on the left-hand side. So I'll just click back now to the questions. John, do you see any more coming in there on your side?
Yeah, I'll scroll back up because when a couple of them questions came in, it was like a two-part question, and I'll answer it in one. So, this is from an accountant, and they asked do we have any accountants plans available for accountants? So yes, we do have bureau versions and bureau licenses for accountants. So not only the software is available for a business or a business owner to use, we do also have available plans for accountants, bureau versions. And then the other part of it was, I'll just answer it now, was the feeds or the bank feeds that I showed, are they available for all banks? And the answer is yes. They're available for all Irish and UK banks, so you can connect to any bank or financial institution through the live feeds.
Brilliant, thanks, John. I see a question coming in here. Is there any option for Thesaurus connecting payroll with accounting software or APIs? So yeah, so I know that this webinar did focus on the BrightPay API with Surf Accounts, but we will be releasing the Surf Accounts API with Thesaurus Payroll Manager, and that will be released in a couple of weeks. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the questions here. Another one I have here is, do you have to link every client to BrightPay Connect? So no, you can pick and choose which clients you want to use BrightPay Connect for. You can even start with, say, 1 or 2 clients and gradually introduce them. We have a client hub section on our website that bureaus can direct their clients to, so they can see the range of features included in BrightPay Connect themselves. So that can be very useful. Brilliant. I think that's all of the questions. Now, there was a couple of repetitive questions asked throughout, so I'm sure we gave the answer to those. But if there is anything else, please do get in touch and we'll be happy to help. But I think we'll wrap the webinar up there, and thanks everyone for joining today's webinar, and we hope you found it useful. Thank you.